There is a reason this message keeps finding its way back to you. Something deep within you continues pulling you toward these words, toward this feeling, toward the quiet search for answers your heart refuses to let go of. This is not random timing, coincidence, or luck. Something far beyond ordinary logic has been guiding you here step by step. A part of your spirit has been searching for confirmation for a long time now, maybe for weeks, maybe for months. You have been carrying a feeling that refuses to disappear, no matter how hard you try to silence it. You kept much of this inside because you feared being misunderstood. You worried people would tell you that you were imagining things, reading too deeply into emotions, or holding on to false hope. But what if this feeling was never meant to confuse you? What if it was actually your soul recognizing something meaningful before your mind could fully understand it? If these words already feel strangely personal to you, hit like right now. Jungian mind theory is here to remind you that some connections are felt long before they are explained. There is a deeper awareness trying to show you something you have sensed for a very long time. Even when your logical side fights against it, your inner self keeps returning to the same quiet peace whenever you think about this person. That peace matters. It stays even through silence, distance, and uncertainty. This connection carries a weight that goes beyond ordinary attraction. It reaches somewhere deeper, into the part of you that recognizes truth without needing constant proof. You may have tried to move on. You may have distracted yourself, convinced yourself to stop thinking about them, or tried to close the emotional door completely. Yet something inside you keeps returning to this same realization over and over again. The universe is not asking you to live in fantasy. It is asking you to stop dismissing what your spirit already knows. What you feel is not simply emotional attachment. It is recognition. A deep sense of familiarity at the soul level that continues existing even when circumstances become quiet or confusing. When you stop listening only with fear and begin listening with your spirit, the purpose behind this person entering your life starts becoming impossible to ignore. Comment, "I feel it," if this message resonates deeply with you. Many people confuse a soul connection with desire, obsession, or emotional dependency. But there is a major difference between longing born from emptiness and connection born from inner knowing. Desire creates panic. It creates fear of losing control. But a true soul bond often brings calmness beneath the chaos. Even during separation, there remains a strange sense of peace that refuses to fully disappear. The wounded mind often labels these feelings as irrational because old pain teaches people to fear vulnerability. Yet soul recognition does not operate from desperation. It operates from a deep inner certainty. Even without communication, something within you still feels connected because your spirit senses safety beyond physical presence. This is why you no longer need endless reassurance to validate what you feel. Your soul already recognizes something real. The connection itself becomes the reassurance. That is why silence cannot completely erase it. Physical distance cannot destroy it. Time itself cannot fully weaken it. Again, a higher awareness is trying to confirm something you have known quietly for a long time. You were never meant to silence your intuition out of fear. Even when your mind creates doubt, your inner self keeps returning to the same calm recognition. That peace is not accidental. This bond was not created by coincidence. It was formed through alignment, a meeting designed to shift your path, awaken deeper parts of you, and force growth neither of you could avoid. What you are experiencing goes beyond physical attraction. It touches the deeper layers of destiny itself. You may have tried to convince yourself that it meant nothing. You may have attempted to suppress these emotions or bury them beneath distractions. Yet something beyond logic keeps guiding your attention back toward this person because part of your soul recognizes them as important to your evolution. The universe wants you to stop believing you are crazy, delusional, or emotionally weak for feeling this deeply. What you feel is your spirit asking to be acknowledged instead of denied. The more honestly you listen to yourself, the clearer this connection becomes. Comment, "I feel it," if your soul understands these words before your mind fully can. When two people share this type of connection, there is often an invisible emotional thread between them. Like two separate containers holding the same water, distance may change the surface, but the essence remains connected underneath it all. This creates a quiet certainty that does not rely on constant validation from the other person. And this certainty changes you. It slowly teaches you patience, emotional maturity, and trust in something larger than immediate outcomes. That is why this period of silence or separation is not meaningless. In fact, it may be one of the most important stages of the entire connection. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own growth during this phase because they only focus on the pain of waiting instead of understanding the deeper purpose behind it. But destiny is not built through urgency. It unfolds through preparation. This stage is not empty space. It is the process where the foundation is being formed beneath the surface. The emotional groundwork is being prepared carefully, so the connection can eventually stand on something stable instead of collapsing under unresolved wounds. Your intuition has stayed alive because your spirit recognizes the mark of something significant. Still, the human mind struggles to accept that real connections can include silence, confusion, and distance. But destiny does not move according to emotional impatience. It moves according to readiness, healing, awareness, and growth. Separation is not always rejection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes silence exists to prevent two people from destroying a connection before they are emotionally prepared to handle its depth. This pause is not punishment. It is preparation. The universe is allowing hidden wounds to surface so both souls can evolve individually before fully coming together again. Without this growth, the connection could become consumed by fear, insecurity, emotional dependency, or unresolved pain. That is why this period matters so much. Beneath the silence, transformation is happening. Beneath the distance, awareness is growing. And beneath the confusion, destiny is still quietly moving everything into alignment exactly as it needs to unfold. Comment soul if you truly believe some connections are meant to reach beyond ordinary attraction and touch something far deeper within us. What feels like abandonment right now may actually be a necessary spiritual retreat designed to protect this bond for the future. Sometimes two people are guided apart temporarily so old karmic patterns, emotional wounds, and unhealthy attachments can finally dissolve. Both souls move on to separate paths for a reason. At a higher level, there may have been an unspoken agreement to step back until both people became emotionally strong enough to carry the depth of this connection without destroying it. This phase is not here to punish you. It is teaching you how to stand fully within yourself. The universe does not want you searching for another person to complete what only you can heal internally. If your happiness depends entirely on someone else's presence, distance often remains, because love cannot survive when it becomes emotional dependency instead of conscious partnership. Real growth means using this waiting period as a time of transformation rather than suffering. You are being asked to clear the inner mirror so you can eventually experience love without fear, insecurity, or desperation distorting your vision. The version of you they may reconnect with in the future will not be the same person who once felt lost or emotionally dependent. It will be someone grounded, self-aware, emotionally stable, and aligned with a greater purpose. This process is a purification, a fire meant to burn away illusion, fantasy, unhealthy expectations, and emotional immaturity until only the strongest and most authentic part of the connection remains. Trusting divine timing means focusing less on controlling outcomes and more on becoming the person you were always meant to be. What truly belongs in your life will naturally return when both people are emotionally capable of holding it with maturity. Share this video with someone who needs the reminder that they are not losing their mind for feeling something this deeply. Every day within this separation carries meaning. This is not wasted time. It is a sacred assignment from destiny, shaping your energy and preparing you for a love built on consciousness instead of emotional chaos. This inward retreat is not passive waiting. It is an opportunity to reclaim your own power and strengthen your inner foundation. The way you use this phase directly affects the future quality of the connection itself. Destiny is not asking you to sit frozen while hoping for miracles. It is asking you to intentionally work on your inner world so you are ready for what is still unfolding ahead. One of the deepest lessons during this stage is learning true detachment. Not coldness, not indifference, but healthy spiritual trust. Real detachment means releasing another person from the impossible responsibility of making you feel complete. The moment your identity depends entirely on someone else, fear enters the connection and slowly drains it. Detachment is trust in its purest form. It is telling the universe, I trust that what is meant for me will arrive naturally, without force, control, or desperation. The moment you stop chasing, begging, overanalyzing, and trying to control outcomes, your energy begins shifting in powerful ways. You become aligned with your authentic self instead of operating from fear. Comment guided if you have been noticing signs, synchronicities, repeated patterns, dreams, or strange moments that make you feel this path is being directed by something greater than yourself. This separation is exposing old cycles inside you. Feelings of lack, fear of abandonment, emotional dependency, self-doubt. The universe is bringing these wounds into the light so they can finally be healed instead of repeated forever. You are being called to become your own source of emotional safety, worth, and peace. Love yourself with the same compassion and patience that the universe has always extended toward you. Build an inner calm that remains steady no matter what external circumstances are doing. Peace does not come from control. Peace comes from understanding. When your energy shifts from emptiness into fullness, life begins reflecting that fullness back to you naturally. Reclaiming your power means living as though you already trust the truth in your heart. It means releasing the urge to constantly seek validation, messages, signs, or proof from another person. Move through this period with quiet confidence, not arrogance, not emotional shutdown, but deep inner trust. When you become emotionally whole within yourself, their return becomes a beautiful choice, rather than something you feel you need to survive. Believing life is unfolding in your favor also means understanding that silence can be one of the strongest manifestations of all. You are not powerless during this phase. You are shaping your reality through your inner state far more than through frantic actions or emotional chasing. True mastery during this season comes when you fully release the fear of loss. Fear creates attachment, and attachment often pushes love further away. But when your self-worth no longer depends on another person's presence, love becomes balanced, clean, and free. Only a connection built through genuine choice instead of emotional need can survive the tests of time. Right now, you are being transformed into someone who shines from within like a lighthouse. A person who no longer relies on someone else's light to feel valuable. This inner stability is your real mission. The universe has intentionally slowed certain parts of your life so you can finally heal old wounds, rediscover your strength, and reconnect with your true self. And remember, this transformation is not only happening within you. The same force guiding your healing is also working deeply within the other person. Their silence is not always proof of forgetting. Often, it marks the beginning of an internal awakening, where their ego, pride, emotional defenses, and avoidance slowly begin collapsing. Type peace if silence with this person somehow still carries an unusual sense of calm beneath the pain. The distance may appear peaceful on the surface, but internally they may be fighting battles you cannot see. The universe has likely stripped away many of their distractions, so they are finally forced to confront themselves honestly. Their loneliness becomes a mirror reflecting old fears, emotional walls, pride, and avoidance patterns that once blocked this connection from growing properly. No matter how much they try to bury themselves in work, routines, distractions, or temporary escapes, something still feels missing because this connection continues resonating at a deeper level within them too. Slowly, their ego begins softening. The pride that once kept them emotionally guarded starts losing its grip. And this transformation matters because when someone returns after true inner growth, they return differently, not driven by panic, loneliness, or impulsive regret, but from a place of awareness, honesty, and emotional maturity. Both of you are approaching a major turning point in this journey. A quiet surrender is beginning to form naturally within both souls, and sometimes it is within that surrender that the deepest transformations finally begin. They are slowly arriving at a moment where avoiding the truth hurts more than finally facing it. The weight of pretending they no longer care is becoming heavier than the fear, pride, or emotional walls that once kept them distant. And when that breaking point fully arrives, their return will not come through games, manipulation, or shallow apologies. It will come from honesty, from humility, from a deep realization that this connection never truly left them, no matter how hard they tried to suppress it. Comment "I know" if your intuition still refuses to release this connection completely. What they are surrendering to is not only you. They are surrendering to the truth they have been resisting within themselves for a very long time. Some connections are too powerful to be controlled by ego forever. Eventually, destiny pushes both people toward awareness, whether they feel ready or not. Right now, pause for a moment and think carefully about the signs that continue repeating around this person. Maybe it is a dream that feels unusually vivid. Maybe it is a song that keeps appearing at the exact right time. Maybe it is a repeated symbol, a name, a memory, or an unexpected reminder that keeps returning without effort. These moments are not meaningless. Life communicates in subtle ways when something important is unfolding beneath the surface. Trust what continues appearing naturally for you. Jungian mind theory reminds you that some signs are meant to guide awareness, not create fear. This person is being prepared to return with greater clarity, emotional maturity, and understanding of what this connection truly means. Destiny does not allow important bonds to remain trapped in confusion forever. When they return, it will not be uncertain or half-hearted. It will come with awareness, with honesty, with the understanding of who you are in their life and why this bond continues to matter. Do not become trapped focusing on how much time has passed. Focus instead on the depth of transformation taking place within both of you. The universe is teaching necessary lessons on both sides, so this connection can eventually stand on something stronger, healthier, and more lasting. But naturally, part of your mind still asks an important question. How do you know these feelings and signs are real? How do you know this is not simply your mind holding on to something that is already ended? This is where discernment becomes important. The universe absolutely communicates through synchronicity, but not every emotional attachment is a spiritual sign. The human mind can create illusions when pain, longing, and fear become overwhelming. So it is healthy to question things honestly instead of blindly believing every coincidence. The difference between illusion and true synchronicity is found in the energy it leaves within you. Illusion comes from fear and emotional desperation. It creates anxiety. It pushes you to force meaning into everything. It keeps you obsessing, overthinking, seeking constant validation, and trying to control outcomes. Illusion leaves you emotionally exhausted and more confused than before. Real synchronicity feels completely different. True signs arrive naturally without force. They appear repeatedly at meaningful moments without you chasing them. Instead of increasing panic, they bring a strange sense of calm and inner reassurance. They feel precise, almost as if life itself is quietly arranging things in front of you at the exact moment you need them most. This is how higher awareness often moves, quietly, gently, but with unmistakable clarity. These meaningful coincidences touch something deep inside you because they align with a truth your soul already recognizes. They are not fueled by emotional hunger or desperation. They feel grounded, peaceful, and strangely natural. Take a moment to reflect on the signs you have already experienced. The universe speaks differently to every person, but there are certain patterns many people notice during important soul connections. One common sign happens through sudden emotional echoes during ordinary moments. You think intensely about this person for no obvious reason, and shortly afterward you hear their name, encounter a song connected to them, or unexpectedly come across something that reminds you of them with unusual force. These moments are not always random mental tricks. Sometimes they are energetic reminders that movement is happening behind the scenes, even when nothing appears to be changing externally. Another powerful sign appears through inner peace during your healing process. The more you focus on your own growth, emotional healing, and self-respect, instead of controlling outcomes, the more calm begins replacing confusion. This peace matters deeply because the ego struggles to imitate genuine stillness for long periods of time. When your spirit feels grounded instead of frantic, it often signals alignment with your higher path. Real guidance brings strength, not emotional chaos. You may also notice strange confirmations through unexpected conversations, repeating numbers, symbolic patterns, or words from strangers that seem to interrupt your normal logic in impossible ways. These moments often appear effortlessly, reminding you that forcing things is unnecessary. Share this with someone you cannot fully explain, but somehow cannot completely forget either. The universe may have brought you to this exact moment for a reason. Not to feed obsession, but to help you recognize the difference between fear and inner truth. Your role now is not to chase, it is to observe carefully. Pay attention to whether something creates anxiety within you, or whether it quietly deepens your sense of trust and peace. Behind the surface, emotional awakening is taking place on both sides of this connection. The silence, distance, and inner withdrawal were never meaningless. They have been preparing the emotional ground for a turning point that was unfolding long before either of you consciously understood it. Trust what genuinely brings peace into your spirit. Life is moving quietly beneath the surface in ways you cannot fully see yet. And when this shift finally arrives, it will not feel vague or uncertain. It will come through clear action, honest communication, or undeniable truth that can no longer remain hidden. The other person will eventually reach a place where suppressing their feelings becomes impossible. They will finally admit what distance taught them, that running from the connection only deepened the emptiness they were trying to escape. What follows afterward has the potential to be very different from the past. Not two wounded people seeking completion from each other, but two individuals who have grown separately and now choose one another consciously. A stable connection can only exist when both people become emotionally whole enough to carry it. And that is exactly what this entire journey has been preparing both of you for from the very beginning. Like this video if this message found you exactly when you needed it most. They are slowly arriving at a moment where avoiding the truth hurts more than finally facing it. The weight of pretending they no longer care is becoming heavier than the fear, pride, or emotional walls that once kept them distant. And when that breaking point fully arrives, their return will not come through games, manipulation, or shallow apologies. It will come from honesty, from humility, from a deep realization that this connection never truly left them, no matter how hard they tried to suppress it. Comment, "I know," if your intuition still refuses to release this connection completely. What they are surrendering to is not only you. They are surrendering to the truth they have been resisting within themselves for a very long time. Some connections are too powerful to be controlled by ego forever. Eventually, destiny pushes both people toward awareness, whether they feel ready or not. Right now, pause for a moment and think carefully about the signs that continue repeating around this person. Maybe it is a dream that feels unusually vivid. Maybe it is a song that keeps appearing at the exact right time. Maybe it is a repeated symbol, a name, a memory, or an unexpected reminder that keeps returning without effort. These moments are not meaningless. Life communicates in subtle ways when something important is unfolding beneath the surface. Trust what continues appearing naturally for you. Jungian mind theory reminds you that some signs are meant to guide awareness, not create fear. This person is being prepared to return with greater clarity, emotional maturity, and understanding of what this connection truly means. Destiny does not allow important bonds to remain trapped in confusion forever. When they return, it will not be uncertain or half-hearted. It will come with awareness, with honesty, with the understanding of who you are in their life, and why this bond continues to matter. Do not become trapped focusing on how much time has passed. Focus instead on the depth of transformation taking place within both of you. The universe is teaching necessary lessons on both sides, so this connection can eventually stand on something stronger, healthier, and more lasting.